media world. This is DC, and we're on Shaking Up the Algorithms, and I'm with my beautiful co-host, Tomise, and she got something to say too.
Well, I just first and foremost wanted to say Happy New Year to everyone.
Correct.
Welcome to season 2 of Shaking Up the Algorithms.
Facts.
And we wanted to start off this year with a blast, and we wanted to start it off by highlighting a lot of Black-owned businesses today, along with ourselves. But we want to just kind of get the word out there and to give you some info on the different products and services that they offer. Also, we wanted to give you a little bit of feedback as well on how you can become a business owner or to consider entrepreneurship and whether or not it fits your lifestyle. So we're going to give you a few little tidbits as far as how we maneuver as business owners so that you can pursue your dreams as well.
A lot of nuggets today. As you see, we made it official. We got the Shaking Up the Algorithm shirts. Oh, peep it. You got to be professional. If you go get it and you go do it, you got to do it right. You know, jump in with both feet. You know, make it happen. If that's God's vision for you, you got to make that vision. You got to make that vision plain so He can go ahead and bless you to make that happen.
Exactly.
And as you can see, I got my God's Apparel hat on that I made by God's Apparel. You know, that's kind of like the segue into what we're talking about, because we're gonna talk about a lot of businesses that happen to be Black. Look at
that. Correct.
And it's going to be a lot of information we're going to give you regarding our own circumstances, regarding our own business, regarding our own trials and tribulations.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a lot about, what else we're going to talk about?
We're just going to talk about, again, the different products and services that are offered through these businesses, how you can benefit from them, and how they could be of best use for you as well. And just, again, we just going to kick it like we always do.
Always do, right? So, okay, this is how I want to start it off. We're going to start it off about being an entrepreneur, because it's got to start off there.
True.
You know, as far as now today's concerned, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. You know, it's trending. It's a trending thing.
It is.
But everybody wants to do their own thing. Nobody wants to clock in anymore. You know, they want to, be the a person that, you know, can start something on their own that can create generational wealth.
Correct.
And the thing about being an entrepreneur that I have learned in my 4 years and some change doing and working with God's Apparel is, first of all, you have to have the tenacity. You got to have the faith. You got to have the boldness. You got to have. You got to allow God to lead you on what is the best thing to do regarding it. A lot of people said, David, you're doing T-shirts. A lot of people do T-shirts, but a lot of people don't do it the way I do it. And I wanted to do something that was going to be different, that was going to create my own niche in the T-shirt world. Right. And I have this phrase that pays that I always say when it comes to people that say stuff like that, which is, you never reinvent the wheel. You always put rims on it. And what you do is you change the narrative of what's already there. Like, I know it's a billion T-shirt business, but there's no T-shirt businesses doing it the way God's Apparel doing it. And you got to have that mindset. Otherwise, you're not going to survive in this. You also got to be consistent. You also got to have, your business name and all that accounted for that's legally yours. It's a lot of steps you got to go through. And a lot of people don't want to go through those steps. And what other things you think that has to be involved with being an entrepreneur?
Just to kind of piggyback on what you were saying as well, I think a lot of what deters people from even going into businesses because they're looking at how everyone else may be doing something similar to what they're doing.
Correct.
First and foremost, you got to understand that if that's something that you wake up every day and you passionate about, like you can't eat, sleep, or whatever, because that's something that you want to do, then that means that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what you're supposed to be operating in.
Correct.
And it's not for you to focus on the progress of someone else or the business of someone else. Whatever God unctions you to do, that's where you're supposed to be. And it shouldn't be, I guess, what's the word? I can't even think of the damn word now. But you can't compare it to somebody else in so many ways. You know what I mean? And I always say is like, my sauce ain't like somebody else's sauce. Correct. So what I'm good at, you know, we could be having the same product, but what makes me good makes me stand out. And that's how you have to think about when it's your business as well. What can you do to make sure that your brand stands out above the rest?
And you know, I'll go ahead, finish the statement.
No, because I was going to say that's the difference with Guys Ain't Apparel. Like, your work speaks for itself. Right. You know what I mean? And it stands out. There's plenty of people doing T-shirts. You know, anywhere that you can think of somebody doing T-shirts. But when somebody sees your shirt, it's like, oh, damn. David made that shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made you stand out.
And, you know, my tagline to that is, you know, it's on my cards, you know, each shirt is a conversation piece.
It is.
I want each shirt for people to be like, oh, wait. Oh, where you get that from? Or that's different or whatever. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I cheated a little bit. And what I did was I looked at a lot of other T-shirt vendors and what they do and how they do T-shirts. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I would have added this or I would have changed that. So how do you change this? How do you change that? You give people more options. I don't just have a T-shirt on my website or my Instagram or TikTok and you may like that shirt, but you may want a different color shirt. Some people say, hey, if it's on a black shirt, you go get the black shirt. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I give people options. And then another thing is I'm very interactive with my clients. So I'm not like just, okay, well, look, they'll say like, can you put that on a turquoise shirt? And if depending on the design, I'll be like, nah, because you can't put light on light. Like it ain't gonna pop right. Like, even though they want me to do their stuff or do their shirts or whatever they want me to do, I'm going to be honest with them. And I think that right there the customer service aspect of it has allowed me to do really well. Like my first 2 years, and I don't know if I should be saying this now, but I'm going to say it anyway. My first 2 years, I grossed over $30K doing shirts by myself. So my thing is that it can be done, but you got to be consistent. You got to do something different. You got to enhance what's already there and make it happen. Don't make excuses. I don't believe in the word can't. I believe in the word, okay, if you want something, you got to present a solution. There is no can't. There's always going to be there is, and I will figure it out. And a lot of people ain't going to do that due diligence and go that extra mile to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So what problems have you had with your businesses or, you know, when you first got it started up?
Well, I know for me, when I first started, it was a matter of making sure that I had all of the legalities in place.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to kind of start with that before I even pushed anything. I wanted to make sure that I had an EIN, or I wanted to make sure that I had my business structured. Whether it was an LLC or S Corp or C Corp, and we'll talk about all that later. But I wanted to make sure that I had all of those things in place. And even when it came down to trademarking my business, be honest, you know, that wasn't something that I did initially. You know what I mean? Because when I found out how much it cost, I was like, well, wait a minute.
Right.
I have to rethink this. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're first starting out in a business, you don't always have the capital or the liquid funds to be able to do everything that you need to do. So you got to take that into consideration too. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you run into any type of legal issues. You know what I mean? So you find little ways to skirt around it until you get yourself legit, so to speak. Right. But
you know, you want your gangster being tested. When you see how much it costs to start it off,
you daggone right. You right. That will really be the telltale sign.
Maybe I'm gonna start selling Uber.
Exactly. That'll be definitely the telltale sign for you. And it'll let you know too, like, if you really are hell bent about getting it done. Because if you are, then you're gonna do whatever you need to do to make sure that you get those funds to do what you need to do to build your business. Now, again, this this life, this road, this choice really will determine if you're driven and you ready for it or if you
Yes, absolutely. That is true.
You know, it's no other way about it. If you really want to do that shit, you're going to put forth whatever effort you need to in order to make sure that it gets done.
And you know what? And you know what, to me, I'm sorry, Kendra, you know what, because you just said something that struck a nerve. When I first started doing this, it was more or less, and I treated it as such, like a side hustle. I was like, you know what, let me get a few dollars here. There. But when it got real, and I started, at one time, I got like 20 shirts at a time. Or the best month I ever had was Juneteenth of 2021. We did 300 shirts in 1 month. And when it got real like that. So I'm like, okay, this is changing my tax bracket slowly. So this can't be no side hustle. I need to get, and then I learned about EIN numbers and tax breaks and all of that stuff because you influence, you doing an influx of your tax bracket. So you have to not play with that. So that's when I took it to that level because otherwise I'm like, I ain't doing all that shit. I'm just making me a few dollars here, go pop some tags, do a little something, go travel. You know what I'm saying? Get on somebody's beach, start snoring in the sand. That's all I want to do. I want to do all that. But when you get it like that consistently, you gotta act accordingly. God gave you the ability to make sales like that. You gotta start taking it seriously. So that's when I started taking it seriously. But you're right, the legalities of it is something that if you ain't ready for up here, you'll be like, you know what, I ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's definitely. So, it's a journey, to say the least. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's rewarding. It's rewarding to know that I created something that has afforded me the opportunity to be able to earn money from. Correct. And that it's mine. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like I'm going to work and I'm making money for somebody else. Or I'm helping to build someone else's business. I'm putting that effort out into something that I built. Or something that I created. So it's a different sense of accomplishment with that. Right. But that's true. I love it.
That's true. That's true. Another thing is, you kind of touched on this earlier, is when you're having a business, you can't look at what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. They obviously doing something different than what you're doing. So you gotta treat it as such. You can't be like, okay, base what you're doing off their sales. Correct. And then you can't be influenced by what somebody else is. This is your business. You are the entrepreneur. This is your responsibility. You are the proprietor of this. And another thing, doing t-shirts, you got to be the customer service man. You got to be the t-shirt maker. You got to be the mailman. You got to do all this stuff. You got to wear every hat, no pun intended, but you got to wear every hat in your business in order to get it to run properly. You know what I'm saying? Now, my goal is to, when things start, to change significantly, to have employees. My future goal is to have 100 employees, to where I can do it on a wider scale. And like I said, I want to do something that nobody else is doing. And then consider doing something that's going to enhance your skill set. Like talk to other t-shirt makers, or, look at a computer design, or, stuff like that that's going to enhance what you already know. Invest in better equipment, machinery. Like I got an amazing printer, but I want a more higher industrial printer. This printer costs thousands of dollars. So I got to work my way up to that, to the point where I can have what I need to even enhance what I already can do. So, you never want to be satisfied at doing the same things for years. You always want to do upgrades and to enhance what you already know. You know what I'm saying? What they say, people die from the lack of knowledge, or perish from the lack of knowledge. So the more you know, the more accessible and more you'll be able to do for other people. I eventually want to get into schools. I eventually want to branch out into that. But I know that's a goal that's conceivable now because of what I've done so far. What are your goals to the businesses that you have?
Well, before I even get into the goals, I wanted to touch on something that kind of resonated as you were talking. Okay. And I just wanted to say this. if you are pursuing a business, if you have a vision to be a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it, this is not the road for you if you're going to be lazy. You just can't be lazy.
And you can't take shortcuts.
You can't.
No,
you know what I mean? You cannot be lazy because you may find yourself putting more time and effort into this business than you ever had working on a 9-to-5.
Facts.
You know, and you might not get no overtime, but you're going to work overtime hours.
Facts.
Right? So make sure that you be mindful of that. Like DC was saying, educate yourself. If you've got to, change your equipment, or you have to, better your equipment, or if maybe you need to take a class to get some more information on how to better and enhance your skill set. Do that, because it's going to make your business stand out. It's going to make you as a business owner stand above the rest.
Correct.
No one has a business and they just go out there and do it and never learn anything else.
Correct.
You've got to continue to stay on top of the trends. You've got to stay on top of, what's moving in your genre, or, what's becoming new in that arena in which you've created your business. You got to stay on top of that so that you'll be able to increase your clientele. So you got to stay in that mode of always wanting to educate yourself so that you can better your business. But as far as my goals are concerned, some of the goals that I have, because I do have multiple businesses. So I'm constantly busy. I'm constantly busy, and, I have DC tell me all the time, like, when we going to record, when we going to do this? Like, I know you got to do this, and you got this going on, and this going on, plus your kids, and, so I have a lot that I juggle. But ultimately, it's some days I don't get a lot of sleep. I need it. Some days I go all night long.
#team no sleep, nigga.
No dose. That's what it is over here. Team no dose. Right? But what I try to do is I still try to manage my time enough where I'm able to do everything, or a little bit of everything in a day. Sometimes it don't happen. But I'm going to tell you, some days I just literally pass the hell out. Like, I ain't doing nothing all day. Like, I got to rest. I got to recoup. But with some of the businesses that I do have, of course, I have Kindred Soulz. And we'll be talking about some of the products that Kindred Soulz offers a little later in the show. But Kindred Soulz kind of started off as like an idea that I came up with during my time of going through my cancer journey. And I really wanted to come up with a way to make women or make men in going through what I was going through feel good. Here it was, I literally went into the bathroom and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to shave all my hair off before it come on. Because I knew what it felt like previously to lose my hair. So I was like, I don't want to go through that again. So I just went in the bathroom, shaved it all off, and I felt good. Like, I felt confident. I, dressed myself up, had my face beat and looking cute. And I would go to the hospital every time and, have my little gear on, you know what I mean? And everybody would be like, oh, wow, you look great. Or, I just exuded a certain confidence. And it was like, you know what? I'm going to wear that. So I went home and I started creating my own shirts. Now, of course, I'm not God's Ink Apparel. My guys might not, look as flamboyant. But for me, at that particular time, it was like, that made me feel so good. And it even made me feel better when other people noticed it. I was literally in the hospital getting my chemo treatments, working on my business. Like, I was designing shirts. I was finding different products to, bring into the business. I was building my website. That's what kept me going. And it wasn't like I felt like someone made me do it. It was, I just woke up like, I got to do this. I had nurses coming in. Oh, my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm working on my business. And they like, what? you working on a business and you in the hospital getting chemo treatments. Hell yeah, I need something to keep me going. You know what I'm saying? Like that fueled me, you know, to the point where even my nurses were like my first clients. Because they saw the vision and drive that I had to, you know, get this business up and running. They were my first t-shirt customers, you know. So to me, it was like this was just an extension of me. You know what I mean? So we do t-shirts. You know, now I'm into skincare, you know, because I went through a lot with the cancer. My skin got really, really dark and ashy looking from the chemo. And I was like, man, this ain't me. Like, I need my face back. You know what I'm saying? I could get my skin right. And I was 3 shades darker. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I got to get me right. And I started really doing a lot of research, you know, taking better care of myself. And I created or came up with these products that I sell now. And it's just like, as you can see, they stays really nice and pretty, you know. I'm big on that. So, you know, I incorporated that into the business and, you know, just some other little things to just make you feel good, even when you're feeling down. You know what I mean? Give you that moment of saying, hey, you know, this is my downtime. This is my love me time. You know, and that's pretty much a lot of the products with Kindred Soulz. Then I ventured off and got into a little travel business. So I have Kindred Soulz Travel as well. You know, for those people that, you know, you want to go on a nice little vacation, not a vacation, but a vacation, you know, take your bag with you. Y'all go to a nice remote island or, you know, just go somewhere. You know what I mean? Hit your girl up. I'm going to make that experience wonderful for you. And just give you a whole little package. But whatever you like to do, we work with all kinds of budgets. We do payment plans. We do a little bit of everything, you know. So it's all about creating memories. And I think for me, like I said, with my businesses, because I had literally faced death. I was at death's door. You know what I'm saying? My thing is now I want to get to the place where I'm able to create those lasting memories, to create those bonds, to see other people live life. You know what I mean? Because now I value it. You know, I value the fact that I can get up every morning and breathe and take a breath. You know what I mean? You don't really appreciate those little things until you find yourself in a position where that could not happen. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I just treat life and I appreciate life a whole lot different. And I put that same effort into my businesses because, again, these are representations of me. You know, this is what I want people to remember, whether I'm here or whether I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be my lasting legacy. This is my blueprint. You know what I mean? That I'm leaving to the world. So it's got to be right. I'm not going to have step on none of that.
Right. And, you know, your business has to be an extension of yourself.
It does.
And I just realized from what you said why you match my drive. And I think one of the reasons why what you said is when you had a near-death experience, and I thank God you're still here because, you know, we crossed paths. And when you have a near-death experience, you tend to think differently than the average person. You tend to not take nothing for granted. You tend to think about things that you want to do that you never would have had the opportunity to do. So you start thinking about things like that. I think what did it for me, what kind of matches that energy is the fact that, you know, my daughter's in another state. I've always been a long distance dad. I'm going to be a little bit transparent. And I always want to change that narrative to where I can get up and see her whenever I felt like it. You know, enjoy my grandkids. You know, clocking in, you know, doesn't give you that ability to do it the way you want to do it, as freely as you want to do it. You know, there's always time constraints. Okay, if I plan vacation on Wednesday, that means I gotta get back Friday because Friday I gotta start this shift. You start thinking about stuff like that.
Correct.
So, and don't get me wrong, I love the job that has allowed me to do what I do and all of that. But it's a whole nother thing to be in a situation, not only to be able to travel how you want to and spend time with people you want to spend with, but you want to do something that's going to leave your mark. You want to change the narrative. You want to be impactful. You want to, inspire others. And everybody don't have that spirit, because a lot of people have a what's in it for me attitude.
True. And
God uses us for his glory. It's not the other way around.
Right.
God don't share glory. And I've learned that lesson a long time ago. But along with being an entrepreneur is that you have to know that whatever God gives you in the ability to lead, you have to be in a situation to where it's like, okay, if he gave me this ability to lead and to start this, I got to do something that's amazing with it. That's a quick story. Last night, because I couldn't sleep, I watched Jobs for the 5th or 6th time. I love watching the movie Jobs. Anybody that's an entrepreneur need to look at the movie Jobs. Trust me, it will change your life. The reason why I love the movie Jobs, because Steve Jobs built Apple. He didn't graduate, none of that. He didn't graduate college, nothing. He built Apple, lost Apple, and then regained Apple again. A lot of people don't know that unless you really link to the story. And made Apple a lifestyle. Like, you can't do anything now without being affiliated with having an Apple product. Whether it's an iPhone, a Mac, or something that has to do with Apple. And he made it like, hey, this is a lifestyle. You gotta have this in order for life to be easy. He created that demographic as far as that being a mindset. And he was a billionaire before he passed. But he did, even though he may have been real harsh as far as how he did his employees, but he was harsh because they didn't do it in the spirit of excellence like he wanted them to. And he wanted them to see his vision. He didn't want it the other way around. He started Apple. So how he go listen to you when he started it?
Correct.
So, and a lot of them was content with not doing something extra and going beyond going beyond. So he was real harsh on his employees, but everything he did with the intent of making any product, he did it with love. Hey, I wanted you to have 1,000 songs in your pocket, so he made the iPod, which was pivotal when it came out.
It was.
So, but he made an impact. When he passed, a lot of people tripped off that.
Right.
And I want to make an impact, not because I'm a billionaire. I want to make an impact so people can see that, hey, it's a black man doing it. It's a black man that was a giver. It's a black man that said you can do anything. And he showed you how that was possible. You got a lot of people say, well, you can do anything you want to do and don't show them how to do it.
Sure.
You got to teach that person how to fish.
That's
you can't
true.
just say, hey, if you go fishing, you got to teach them. And because a lot of people don't know a lot of things regarding, the underlying things of how businesses get money. They don't know nothing about that.
Right.
So I'm still learning. I'm still a work in progress. Even though I know a lot, it's a lot I don't know. So I'm eager to learn those things so I can teach my daughter who is going to school for being a beautician and wants her own business. I got to teach her them nuggets too. So, you don't do a due diligence with being an entrepreneur if you're an entrepreneur and you don't share the knowledge.
Correct.
The wealth is in the knowledge sharing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? You don't just keep that and be like, well, the crabs in the bucket effect where you learn what you know, I know what I know, and we gonna see who get the furthest, nigga.
Right.
See who
That's true. And some people are like that.
And my thing is, it should be, that this is one thing why I love Black Wall Street back then that was destroyed. There were so many businesses that helped each other and worked in conjunction with each other.
Right.
Like, if I don't know anything about business credit, hey, I need somebody to teach me that. You don't know anything about T-shirts and you need a T-shirt for your business, I got you. Don't even worry about it. I got that. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself available. Make yourself accessible, because you ain't gonna be successful in anything if people don't know what you do, or people don't know who the hell you are. So that's my soapbox about that. As you can see, I'm really passionate about what I do, and it's a lot of things I do. I started all this being a spoken word artist. I started, it started from that, and then I got into doing T-shirts. Then I got into work. I'm sure how God work. I got into working for an airline. Still work for an airline. I ain't gonna see what the airline is, but it's an airline. And then I went from that to I created an invention.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's still in progress, but it's going to get out there. When it get out there, look, the whole conversation gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a cigar in my mouth and champagne glass every time we speak. You can call me an alcoholic, a crackhead. You call it whatever you feel like it. I'm gonna be all right. Trust. Trust it. But no, seriously. But God allowed me to create an invention, and I'm learning every aspect of what it takes to get it out there. It's a lot. It's a lot. Sure. But if you really want to do it, and God gave it to you, because I'm going to quit the invention because it takes so much money to get one out there. Oh my God. Do so much research. But when I was going to quit doing it, God said, so if you quit, you're calling me a liar. Mm. So as you can see, I kept going. I kept going and I kept going because, I still have to be patient and allow things to evolve. And that's the toughest thing, being an entrepreneur or anything, because everybody is hands-on. When we do this, okay, we expect an immediate result.
Microwave society.
Sometimes God allows things to slowly evolve. True. So you can learn how it evolves. And if you ain't got that due diligence and patience to watch it unfold, you're going to miss something. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I've learned that lesson the hard way. What about you, Tommy's? I know I've been talking your ear off. What about you?
No. And that's so true, because we do live in a microwave society. Everybody wants to have it right now. So that's correct. Like if you get out here and you say, okay, well, I want to have my business and be up and running, you expect that to be right today. Or for the next day or so. Doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Sometimes there has to be patience in the waiting.
Facts.
There may be a waiting period. So things may not be able to go as planned. But again, if that's something that you really want to do and you're driven enough to get that done, then that means you're going to do whatever you need to do, even if that means that there's a delay. Delays do not mean denials. It just means it ain't today. Facts. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. Just ain't today. So you got to keep, that mindset of knowing that, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I need to do it. Then I'm going to go through the process of making sure that gets done.
Right. And let me say one more thing, and then I'm going to start, we're going to start showing things regarding businesses that we're promoting today. Yes. I got to say this because this is a very good nugget that I got a few weeks ago that I shared with Tommy. She was like, "Ooh," a lot of people that heard it be like, "Oh, I get it." A friend of mine told me, David, you need to be content in your ways. And I'm like, content? How can I be content when I don't like the situation I'm in? Like, I need more than this. Like, this is nothing. Like, I can't be content when I'm not happy because I don't have what I'm supposed to have. And I really didn't understand, that scripture and how my friend told me that until a few weeks ago from now. And the Bible says it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, and it just came to me just like that. And this is what that means. What that means is a rich man will never be content with being blessed. Mm-hmm. I don't care how much money he has. He's going to want more. He's going to want more. He's never going to be satisfied. So in other words, that's saying, I'm not blessed enough, God. This ain't enough. So God can't honor somebody who don't know how to be blessed when they getting something. So that's why it's impossible for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, because not because he has money, because of his mindset.
Correct.
So being content means, okay, I'm content in what I have, and I can utilize these resources, and I will be all right no matter what, because I have at least the necessities of what I need. And the thing about in the Bible, it's a story about the loaves and the fish. And the part of that story that's significant about what I'm saying is, after everybody got fed from them loaves and fish, there was like baskets and baskets of left over. In other words, God gives us overflow. And the reason he gives us overflow is so you can't say that you don't have enough. That's wrong for part of the conversation. You can't say you don't have enough. You have more than enough. That's why he gives you more than enough, so you're content with the blessing. A rich man ain't gonna be content, because he always gotta have more. It'd be different if you got more and you're willing to give as much as you're willing to receive.
Right.
But a lot of them get it and they gotta have it. And they like, oh, this is mine. I got this. And that's why that is so significant. I had to share that nugget.
I'm glad you did.
It was in my spirit to share that nugget, because I learned from that, and it made me, think different. It made me move different, because I'm like, okay, it ain't like I don't have, what I need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want more so that I can help more. But David Crouch always going to be all right, because I know how to create income. So I'm going to be all right no matter what. But to be in a position where you can use what you have on a bigger scale is what I want.
Correct.
So I had to share that. I'm glad you enjoyed that too.
Yes, I did.
But right now we're going to share with you all some businesses that we actually love, that we have a few products for it, along with our own, because we can't do this without showcasing our own stuff.
Of course.
So Tomisa, I'm gonna let you start. And your daughter got some fly stuff that that we need to talk about and see what's going on.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, I do have a young entrepreneur in my household. She is 15 years old, and she has somewhat of a lip care line called Smeared by KD.
Okay.
And I am actually wearing some of the gloss on today.
All right, gloss.
Thank you. It's the Purple-licious brand of Smeared by KD. But she has lip gloss. She's got lip oils. We have the rose oil, and we have the jasmine oil. As you can see, they are real flowers in them. Beautiful. It definitely adds extra moisture. And we have those. She also has lip balm. She has lip scrub in different flavors. So we will definitely put all of the information in the description box so that you can go to the website. You can check it out. She also has T-shirts and hoodies on there as well.
Quick question. What motivated her into wanting to be an entrepreneur? What was her motivation?
Actually, she saw me. I had a vision to do it. And I was taking a class one day about showing you how you could create a business in 30 days.
Oh, wow.
And she was in the class with me. And she was like, Mom, I really want to do this. Will you help me? I was like, yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? So literally during that entire class, we were coming up with everything that she needed, from as far as the logo, the name, what she wanted to sell, how she wanted to do it. We were doing the research on the products that she needed to make the stuff, because again, everything that she does is all natural. So we were coming up with all the products, and I'm like, you really serious about this? And she was like, yeah, Mom, I really want to do this. Wow. I was like, all right, And honestly, seeing how driven she was, because she was feeding off of me, it pushed me even more to get my stuff out there. I was like, because her business was the first one that I started with. you know,
Got
and I was like, you know what, I got to do mine now. I got to do mine. I can't have her show me up like that. I got to do mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what prompted Kindred Soulz as well. It was a few months later, but it was like, I got to do this. If she's doing this, then I really have to be a role model and step up, you know, as a mom and be like, you know what, we're going to do this together. And that's kind of like what we did. You know what I mean? So that's been really successful. But I'm going to put in the description box as well, Smeared by KD, so that you will be able to, you know, go to her website and support her if you'd like.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do the next one. And this is called, Veronica sent me this. This is called Veronica Natural Remedies. Now listen.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Now look, now listen. Moment of silence. Point out a little look at my mind for the people that ain't here. Hold on. Are y'all back? Okay, I'm back.
Oh my God.
Veronica Natural Remedies. Now normally I don't do a lot of promoting people's stuff, even though, you know, I may say something here or there or whatever. But I'm gonna start doing that more because I mean that's just a due diligence of being an entrepreneur and supporting people that are doing it just like you doing. You know what I'm saying? And she's based out. She's on the East Coast. She's in New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is an oil that goes over the body, like a smelling oil. And I ain't gonna lie, when I opened it up and I put it on my hand, I thought Jesus was in the building. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing I like about it is greasy, which greasy is a good thing because I mean it lasts long. So that means the ash don't come back so quickly. It's saying.
I love it because it lingers. You know what I mean? A lot of people will use different oils and things like that. And it's good for a little bit of time and then it just kind of dissipates as the day goes on. Her stuff, oh my God, her stuff is so good. And she has.
I ain't gonna lie.
Go ahead.
This right here is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
That hemp seed oil, I'm telling you.
Veronica, now listen, sunshine. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to your website, you know what I'm saying, and see how my account is. Because, you know, my checking and my savings is different. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure that I get some more of this and see what else you got, you know, for the fellas. Because this right here is amazing. And then she gives you a nice amount of it, too. Yeah. You know, she ain't real skeet. You know, it ain't stopping here.
Not at all.
You this is a grown man bottle.
Yeah.
I can get my feet, my faces, all that. And I will say this, I will be checking her website out. I got her information. Veronica, I got you. Keep doing what you do, Queen. I love what you're doing. And yeah, that's mine. What's yours?
Well, you know, just kind of piggyback on that, Veronica has a whole lot of other products as well. And I'm going to have some of that displayed at the end of the video. But she has this awesome Glow and Grow butter.
Okay.
Ladies, let me just tell you. I tried it the first time, and I've been hooked ever since. Like, I buy 2 jars at a time. That's how much.
Now, what is that for? Where they going? Your toes?
The Glow and Grow butter is like a all over body butter, but it has like glitter in it. It has like a glow to it. You know, very, very.
Oh, so you want the man in your life to make you an edible arrangement. Or you want that grown folk stuff.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, okay?
Right.
But it smells so good. Like, literally, anything that she has, it smells great. Everything is all natural. There is nothing or any type of impurities or anything in it. Everything is considered vegan-based. Love it. I mean, love it. She's got the Glow and Grow butter. She makes handmade soaps. She has carrot soap, lemongrass, goat milk and rose clay. Like, she got all kinds of stuff. And honestly, she specializes in people that have skin ailments. So if you have some sort of ailment with your skin, whether it's
Like
eczema,
okay.
psoriasis, any dermatitis, she even helped my son. He had dermatitis in his scalp. She gave me a neem soap and had him wash with it, and it cleared it up. You know what I mean? So that she really specializes in problematic skin. But she does a wonderful job. Like that's my go-to. And I sell skin products too, but her stuff, like yes, she's next to mine. You know what I'm saying? I would buy her stuff. I don't buy a whole lot of people's stuff, but hers, I have to. I have to. So I definitely support her. She's like a sister business owner, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we'll be definitely collaborating more this year to, get our businesses out there. And, because I want to see her shine too. And she just does an awesome job.
Okay. And what else you got on your end, ma'am?
Well, what else do I have? Well, first and foremost, I wanted to talk about or kind of piggyback on what we were talking about earlier, as far as with business credit. A lot of us may not have a lot of information or know the ins and outs of starting a business or setting up your business credit or setting up trade lines and things of that nature. And, just the ins and outs of even getting it all together. So we are now in conjunction with a young lady who has a credit repair / credit repair, budgeting, as well as tax preparation service. She deals with corporations as well as small businesses as well. It is Ameka Cooley, and the name of her business is Fee Inc., which stands for Financial Economic Empowerment Education. And basically what she does, she gives you all the information that you need to get your business going. She will, if you have an LLC or you don't have one, she shows you how you can actually transition into a corporation and how that benefits you, opposed to having an LLC. Also, she does all the paperwork for you. You don't need to worry about getting an EIN. She gonna have your paperwork and your EIN done within the next 3 hours. That's how good she is. Like, she gets stuff done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Comes to your taxes. She's gonna make sure that as a business owner, you get all the proper details that needs to be included. You get all of the tax breaks, all of that good stuff. You know what I mean? She's gonna make sure that no stone is left unturned. So we're going to definitely put her information in the description box as well. And she is also running a special for January. So for those people that really want to get in, I'm telling you now, any service that she offers is $250. Whether it's your taxes, whether it's your setting up your business trade line to get you set up with business loans, to get your paperwork in order. She's doing everything for you.
Hold on, wait. She doing tax for $250 too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have gone see. I'm glad you said that. See this?
She is actually, and we discussed this the other day, y'all. She is doing tax preparation for $250. Up until January 24th.
Now, let me say this because you know her for a lot longer than I have. I just met her recently.
Yes.
And let me tell y'all something. Like this, Ameka Cooley is no joke. Like when as far as business, credit and all that stuff that she's helping me with right now, and Tomise, my amazing coworker, like she cold-blooded. She don't play no games. She makes it happen. And she's very intelligent, very articulate. She just knows her stuff. Correct. She knows stuff that I was like it was mind-boggling how much she knows.
True.
And when all of this comes to fruition, all of it happens, we'll really be able to, show you, the fruits of trusting somebody and showing the fruits of our labor from the business tax credit that we're going to get. So I'm looking forward to that. and seeing how that evolves and how that happens. I'm being patient, just like we got to be patient for it to happen. But me and Tomisa are almost through with that whole process before the money comes in from our businesses. That's gonna happen. So when I tell you, she is a woman of God, very intelligent, knows her stuff, very thorough, very professional, does everything for you. And as much as she done for that amount, I can see why her prices are up there because she does a lot within that allotted amount of time. And I just thank God that I met her now because, for future references, once everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, she's definitely going to be somebody that I'm going to go to is going to be my financial advisor. Because she knows all of that stuff. It's to the point where I ain't got to sit. I can let my money work for me. I can, create, have generational wealth. I can, quadruple the amount that I have in the bank from what I put in the bank and how I put it in the bank. So she's gonna, get us together on all of that. And like I said, this is to be continued. Remember this conversation because like in a few weeks, when we have what we need to have to do, we need to do, we're going to have a full-blown conversation about that. We're probably going to do a whole show about it. I look forward to that.
We should.
Another thing is, I think, we should, with all these businesses involved, by the grace of God, however God allows it to happen, that we need to do one big event with all of our businesses together.
We should.
I think
definitely. That would be. That would be. So we're going to definitely have to talk about that, get that in the works this year.
Thanks.
Because I think that would be pretty lucrative.
Oh my God.
And that would bring about a lot of awareness too as to what we all do on a collective and individual scale. So
thanks.
Yeah. So what other business you got over there, or that you want to talk about? Oh, better yet, let's talk about you and this wonderful business that you have going on here. God's Inked Apparel. I'm gonna tell y'all now. First and foremost, I do t-shirts too. That thing. But his work is like some shit I've never seen before. And yes, I've seen a lot of different t-shirts. I've seen a lot of, people's work. His stuff, matter of fact, I'm going to give you a prime example. I asked him to do a Bob Marley shirt for me. Now, literally, I Googled this picture, right? That thing looks so crisp and so pristine on this t-shirt. It literally looked as if somebody just plastered the picture on the shirt. That's how good it was. I have yet to see anyone match that quality.
Then I put the quote of his that you wanted on the back.
Yes, the quote is on the back.
That's what happens when you can customize the shirt and you know what you're doing. But it took me a few years to get it to where I'm doing it now. And I'm thankful for that because I love doing it. You got to love what you do in order to do it well. Sure. And you got to get something that you can master.
Right.
Like I made a lot of mistakes before I can get that quality of t-shirt. And, I made the shirts that we have on now, shaking up the algorithms, which is a phrase that my amazing co-host thought of, shaking up the algorithm. I love the phrase. So I did a design in conjunction with it, which came out fly. Another thing is I do bracelets. I'm going to kind of put it up close to the camera. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, put yours up because I forgot to put mine on. I'm so mad.
These are bracelets. Now, a lot of these, are for sale because I have a whole bunch of them that I do. And I used to do them strictly for therapeutic reasons. And then when I started doing them enough, people were like, oh, where you get that from? Then I started, posting them. So if you go to God's Inked Apparel on TikTok or Instagram, I got everything on there that you'll see. You're going to be on it. You ain't going to get off there real quick because I got a lot of stuff on
it. It is a lot. It is a lot.
So I'm going to show you 4 hoodies that I've done. One is my favorite that I've done for myself. And I do hats too, as you could tell. The quality of the hats. That's my logo right there. God's Inked Apparel. This is a hoodie that I wear a lot. That's my favorite because I'm a Lauryn Hill fan. So I decided to do a hoodie with Lauryn Hill on it. That's a picture that hardly nobody has seen. And whenever I wear it, people always be like, "Oh, where did you get that from?" And me being being who I am, I'm like, I made the shirt. So that kind of starts that conversation off.
Right.
You made the shirt. So then I show them to my TikTok or my Instagram. They go crazy over it. And I've added them. I've done that like 8 to 10 times being out.
Right.
You always gotta rock your brand.
You do.
Rock your brand. You got to. So here's one of the hoodies, because it's hoodie season. It's gonna be 4 hoodies I'm gonna show y'all. This is my Lauryn Hill hoodie. And that's the picture of Lauryn Hill that I have. And this hoodie has gotten so many stops. It's like I'm a celebrity. Like this hoodie that got a lot. And this is not a normal design that's gonna go on a hoodie. So people be like, where you got it from? I'm like, I did it myself. So, that's one. Here's one that I did for a client that came out really, really good. To show you how versatile my skill set is. This is another one. With the eyes and all that's glitter. That somebody wanted customized on a shirt, on a hoodie. So I did that. And then my cousin, who gets on my nerve, I'm from Boston. Can you make a Boston hoodie and stuff? Yeah, I can make a Boston hoodie and stuff. Can you do it like that? Can you make the person black on her? I can make the person black here. So I did this one. Came out really good. It's a lot of glitter on here, and I took my time with it, and it came out really amazing. So this is her hoodie, and this is the most recent one I've done, and I did this for somebody who was a Capricorn like I am, and she wanted this on a hoodie, and I said, that's light work, I can do this. So I did this one. Came out really, 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 really good. So, but like I said, what I wanted to do was learn how to do it in a way that was going to be excellent quality. And I want to do something that nobody else is doing. And I want to be able to customize it. So I learned how to do that. I've been doing it, like I said, for a little bit over 4 years now. First 2 years, I grossed over 30K doing it. Wow. And I didn't even know I made that much until one of my friends was like, David, let's start adding up your cash apps. And it came when it got to 30 grand, like we stopped counting. So I'm pretty sure it was well over that. But I was just doing them. I wasn't keeping track of how much money I was making. I love to do it. When you love to do something, you're not going to focus on that at the beginning. And the Bible says your gifts will make room. And that's what it did. And it got to the point where I was start to be in demand. And it was like, I've done T-shirts for baseball teams. I've done T-shirts for people being in different groups and stuff. I got a support group T-shirt that I've done. I've done T-shirts with people who lost their loved ones on it. I've done so many different things, but the main reason why I do it is because I love it. I love what I do, and I want to do something that was going to be different, that was going to allow me to have a steady income, and it's getting better and better and better and better to the point where I can, eventually I'll be able to quit my 9 to 5 indefinitely.
Correct.
And work for myself. But I want to be in a position where it's a lot more consistent to my needs, to where I ain't got to worry about finances anymore. So eventually God's going to make that happen. He's transitioning me right now and preparing me right now. Another thing I want to tell y'all is this. You got to really be connected to God, the Father, who's giving you the unction to do it in the first place. God told me to do a budget, a $10 million budget, $1 million budget. And instead of me questioning it, I start doing it. I start looking at houses that I wanted. And when you do that enough, your mindset is conditioned to receive that. And people don't understand the power of manifestation, which a lot of people starting to talk about right now.
Right.
But manifestation comes with being a person that knows what faith is. Faith without works is dead. Faith comes by hearing, not by seeing. So when God tells you something, you need to operate in that obedience, to just do it. Because what he may tell you is pivotal. It's pivotal on what he needs you to do in order to make that fruition take place.
Right.
So that's one thing that I am thankful of being, and that is an entrepreneur that cares about his clients, that cares about doing what he does and loves what he do. You know what I'm saying? Even when I become a multimillionaire, guess what? I'm going to still be doing t-shirts and bracelets. Between me and you, the price may be a little different. But I'm going to still do what I do because I love to do it. Like, to me, it's like art on a shirt. Like, and knowing that I can do it like nobody, a lot of people can do it, that is a beautiful thing. Imagine being in a situation where you're the only person on the planet that has that shirt. I did one for my beautiful co-host that said, Black women are a whole vibe. Nobody has that shirt. That's a beautiful thing. And I know Black women, like, shoot, I'm the only one that got it. Shoot, I know that's right. Da-da-da-da-da. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm just thankful to be in a situation. What about you, ma'am?
Well, I mean, the last thing I have up my sleeve or, in my business repertoire,
okay.
It's funny because I don't really even consider this a business, but it's just now because I've done it so much and people are starting to notice the work that I do. It's almost like, okay, well, maybe I need to do something with this. Like, maybe I do need to, highlight this a little bit more. It's just one thing I felt for me was I didn't have like any experience or any expertise, but it's something that I'm naturally good at. I'm naturally gifted at it. And it just comes easy and effortlessly to me.
That mean you didn't take no classes for it. You said no expertise, right?
No, I didn't take any classes.
All right, just clarifying that. Go ahead.
No classes, no formal training, none of that. But I'm really creative. I've always been pretty creative. And I like putting colors and, things together. So I make like different logos for people. I've made flyers for people's businesses. I've created video commercials for people. Matter of fact, our introduction to the podcast, I created it.
That's her right there. I know her.
But it's just something that I enjoy doing. And it's not even a big thing for me. Somebody asked me, oh, Shawaun, I have some of my business partners in the travel business. They're like, oh, Shawaun, can you make a flyer for me? And I'm like, okay, so I made it a little gig for me. So, when anytime somebody needs some flyers done, I have like a special, where you get one for one price and then you can get up to 3 for another price. You know what I mean? Just to kind of fuel the gift, but fuel it, but I love it though. I really do love it. And it has really shown me how God can take what gifts you have and make them into multiple streams of income. Like, I just looked at it as something to do. I never looked at it like, oh, well, I need to charge people for it. But yeah, I guess I do. I need to, charge people. I need to, receive something for the gift that I'm providing, for the service that I'm providing.
I probably don't want to be a recipient of that because, boy, what you do to those videos, it takes you hours to do.
It does. It does.
Well,
I'm real meticulous. I'm real meticulous.
She be at the computer like.
I'm sorry.
Tell me.
I'm meticulous when it comes to me doing that. Like, I got to make sure that, it's got it stops at the right time, or it picks up at the right speed, or, you know what I mean? All of those things play a major role when you are doing any type of video work or any type of editing.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Right. You want it to just flow. You don't want there to be any breaks or, it be choppy or things of that nature. You want it to be able to flow. So I have literally learned just from toying with, the things and materials that I have, to be able to create the things that I do. So it's definitely a blessing to me. it has, like I said, it has become more prominent where more people are starting to notice it now, and they want me to do more work. So it is kind of breaking me out of my comfort zone a little bit, because to hear people say, oh, this is great, da, 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 man, this shit is fire. And I'm just like, okay, I knew it was good, but I didn't think it was that good. But it just boosts my confidence even more to want to do more, and to want to be able to learn more that I didn't know. So yeah, be on the lookout. You know, I'm gonna be doing more of that. Or if you need any work done, you need anything done, let me know. I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. You know, but there's a lot of other different little business ventures that I'm, you know, pursuing and going into, and, you know, with the videos and the editing and things of that nature, it kind of streams into the tech business that I'm getting ready to start. So I'll be able to assist individuals and businesses with setting up their 800 numbers, also with
addresses and all that stuff.
But also to set up your cybersecurity, set up your internet service, all of those things. I'm, you know, in the process of doing that now. So again, reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? But I should definitely be launching that on a more mainstream scale within the next month or two.
Right. So this was an amazing show. And it's very informative. And the next one is going to be even more amazing. So stay tuned for us. We're going to be a lot more consistent. Y'all going to see our faces a lot more coming up to 2023. One of the phrases that I love to leave, you know, in parting ways is, you know, it's called the have and the have-nots. Always be concerned with what you have and be thankful for what you have. And don't be concerned with what you don't have. Because what you don't have, you may not be ready for. So thank God for what you have. And then allow yourself to prepare for what you don't have. Because then you'll be able to maximize what you don't have yet. God is transitioning you, but you got to focus on what you have more than what you don't have. So the have and the have-nots. Focus on the have, not the have-nots. What is your phrase that pays in passing, Miss Therese?
Mine is, you know, a little more soft and subtle. But
soft and subtle.
A little more soft and subtle. But mine is, love is optional, but grace is free. And when you learn to love yourself unconditionally, grace will follow.
Facts. So in parting, we want to say we love y'all. This is going to be continued. And we got some more tea and juicy stuff and more informative stuff for the next show. We love y'all. Peace.
Find us on our social media page.
Tune in for our next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on any future episodes.